Is Olga. This is my Ukrainian vlog. I'm telling here about war, what's happening in Ukraine now. And today I want to tell you about some successes of Ukrainian army because our society, you know, um, I think that a lot of people they already tired because of war. First days, first week was quite emotional. We shared a lot of information, a lot of even jokes about Russia, about Putin. It was in Ukrainian society, but now we have, everybody tired, and we have already 1 month of war, and people just want to to return to their common life, but a lot of people moved out from Ukraine, unfortunately, who, for example, with kids or just, women with kids or women or other people who cannot find, who cannot be a soldiers. And soldiers who understand how to protect Ukraine, they stayed. A lot of people become soldiers and change their occupation. Even women I know about, for example, Oksana or Tatiana, I forget her name, but her last name is Chernovil, and she was a deputy in Verkhovna Rada, and now she couple days ago she destroyed a tank with some weapon. It is not heavy weapon, but it is against tanks, and she shoot it. She shoot it, and she damaged it. This where is the fuel that place in tank, and so it exploded. And I watched a video about her. That I think what kind of deputies we should have that protect people, not just talking. And what about success of Ukrainian army? It is very important to Ukrainians and Ukrainian society to hear about successes of Ukrainian army. Of course, I understand that now we have war, and it is like in some directions it is successful, in some directions we should a little bit step back. But I these few days I hear about some successes. They're not really essential, really like general, but some success we have, and it is important to tell about them. Few days, maybe a week ago, our army freed near Kiev on the northern western direction few towns, satellites of Kiev. Makariv, it is a little bit far from Kiev, but it is very important strategical object. And Irpin, it is satellite town near Kiev, and our army freed this town. It is very important because Russians from there can attack the Kiev actually, but when our army freed Irpin, Russians they actually should fight for Irpin but not for Kiev, and it is very important for us. Yesterday Russians tried to capture it again. They attacked it from three directions, but without any success. And actually our army almost surrounded them near Kiev, and some experts even said that they are like in a boiler. Boiler, it means like almost surrounded part of Russians. And then if our army will surround them, they will be inside destroyed. Maybe you hear about the boiler near Ilovaisk. It is Donetsk region when Russians captured Donbass, and they fun off a lot about Ukrainian army, and said that we will do again for you a boiler like it was near Ilovaisk. and actually they laugh a lot that Ukrainian army is so weak. But now we have a possibility to do the same with them near Kiev. Some of experts say that it is just possibility, it is too early to talk about the boiler, but some of them said that they're surrounded. But anyway, I see on the maps of war, I see that actually that direction and that Zhytomyrska highway, it's actually highway from Kiev to Warsaw, to the west, to Germany. It is very important highway and very big. It is occupied by Russians, but now I see that the area around this highway occupied by Russians less and less, and so our army really quite successful on that direction. Also, yesterday, or maybe day before yesterday, I heard about information that on the eastern north from Kiev, in Sumy region, our army fight back some town called Trastanets. It is town it is small town, but it is historical. And I know that this quite famous writer Taras Shevchenko was there, and actually there lived some Ukrainian lord that supported Ukrainian culture, and his palace and his lands are there, and it is quite popular historical place to visit. And I do not remember exactly now about some details about that history, but I know that I can say that Trostenets is historical place, and there is some sightseeing place in there. And so it was it was occupied before first days of war, as it closer to Russian border. But now our army a few days ago freed, or yesterday maybe freed, this town. And now I'm watching news, and I see that also on the Sumy direction, a little bit closer to Russian border, our army also after Sumy, near to Russian border, they freed also few villages, or maybe it is like a big village like closer to town or something, and they freed also couple. Actually, it's not confirmed yet, but they 10 hours ago they gave such an information that these places are freed from Russians, and it is huge success, I think. Of course, on that directions, on near Kiev and the northern directions, and it means that on the north our army is successful, and maybe because Lukashenko with his army, he not that confident, and actually in that he should attack by his soldiers, and he should fight with Putin using his army, his soldiers, maybe a week ago, but he tried to get rid of this duty and these things. So actually on the northern direction, without any support, Russian army stepped back these days, and we are quite successful. Of course, I see that there are a lot of areas occupied by Russians still. We cannot say that everything there cleaned from Russians. No, of course. The very terrible situation in Chernobyl region, and especially in city Slavutich. It is the youngest city in Ukraine, and there live staff of Chernobyl nuclear station. So the people, they connected with physics, with nuclear technologies, and they live in Slavutych, and it is unfortunately occupied by Russians, and it is near Belarusian border and not far from Kiev. And so their situation quite sad, because Russians, they do not let people to move out and escape from their town. If even they want to, they just block every road, and people cannot escape. Maybe they could escape by some fields or something, but there could be also some dangerous things like some weapon that could explode if you will be near in forest somewhere. So with Slavutych near Kiev, it's not good situation, and I got news about that Russian army, they start to dig. Sorry, it is my cat. She wants to say to you hello. Lolita, you want to say something about war? Yes? No? Uh, uh, sorry about that. She wants me to pet her every time I'm making the video. I mean that not everything is good near Kiev. But as I started to tell you, that Russians, they started to dig and this defense, and made defense the how to say, build the defense there. And you know that near Chernobyl there are a lot of places with they poisoned by radiation, and you cannot feel it by you cannot see it, smell it, or hear it. It just exists. And these places, they not how to say, they not surround this Chernobyl atomic station, a nuclear station. It is like by some parts, some parts could be more clear, some parts could be very dangerous of land there. And only in Ukraine, in Kiev specialists, they know this what happening now, what kind of part of, for example, forests near Chernobyl are dangerous, and what kind not that dangerous. And we have such a thing like a ginger forest. It means that it is super toxic, super poisoned by radiation, this ginger forests. And these ginger forests, they were dangerous. And exactly in that ginger forests, Russians, they dig their defense now. So our people, they joke that they should stay there longer, because the soil there poisoned, the how to say, wood also poisoned, everything poisoned, and it is very dangerous for people who will stay there. They could feel illness, or even if they will survive later, they could be problems, can have problems with fertility. They could have no children. They could have cancer disease, or something, other horrible thing. And it's all because they stayed for a while, or even long time, in that ginger forest. So Russians, they now there, and they do not know maybe where they are. And maybe now Chernobyl helps Ukrainian get rid of Russians, because they do not know these regions, dangerous regions, and they do not have maybe means to measure radiation level or radiation around. As I said, on the Kievan direction, we do not see still crossing Belarusian army crossing the border. Maybe that Lukashenko didn't give them such an order because he, tried to get rid of that thing and do not execute the will of the Putin. Maybe because our army quite successful. I don't know why. I'm not an expert, but anyway, I see that we have some, not that huge, but some success from day to day. We free some few or one towns, villages on the northern direction. It is positive news, I think. And on the eastern and southern direction, unfortunately, there is huge armies of Russians. They supported by bombers and there is huge bombardments and their army, Russian army, very strong. They supported from from the eastern border. They came from Crimea. Actually, they attacked from Crimea by missiles. So for that direction, for southern direction, now our army just have to fight and do not step back. And only on Mykolaiv direction, on the way to Odessa, we have success because Mykolaiv even received the title of city, the hero city, because he fight back all attacks and he stopped actually Russian. And also I think on the west they cannot move on because of that defense of Mykolaiv, and that because in Chernobyevka, maybe heard about that village satellite of Kherson captured by Russians. There's airport and they feel it all the time by aircrafts, by fighter jets, by helicopters, and already 10 times our army destroy their machinery there. And now we have a lot of jokes about Chernobyevka because Russians, they bring their helicopters, very expensive fighter jets, bombers, and other aircrafts, but every time our army destroy them and already killed there under bombardments 2 generals of Russian army because they came to Chernobyevka. And I don't know why Russians still try to use that place, that airport, because when we destroy their machinery there, they cannot use it to move on to Odessa, to move on to Zaporizhia, to other cities. So it is also some success of Ukrainian army. But anyway, on the southern direction, Russians, they're still strong and we cannot fight back there something. And it is sad, but anyway, I think that we cannot free everything by once. At least we try to do that on the northern direction, and then we can do it, if he will be everything okay, we, get rid of Russians here, we should try to fight back and take and free our territories on the south. That is what kind of news we have from war today, after 1 month of war in Ukraine. Of course, it is not pleasant to talk about war. As I told you, people tired, a lot of people change their lifestyle, and it influence on every people, even people who moved on and moved out of Ukraine. They're still thinking about war, about friends, relatives, colleagues in Ukraine, because they could be in some surrounded cities or towns, and we sometimes communicate with them. And so Ukrainians now, they are very depressed about this situation. They worry about it. They have a lot of emotions, a lot of of course they want to our army win, and I hope it will be so, of course. So we should support it by every means. everyone can do something for this victory. So that is my video. I hope you enjoy that. I hope you got some new information from the what we news and what we have and think about it from from inside of Ukraine. And so that's the video. Thank you for watching. See you next time. Bye.